Week 4, day number 3. I love this. I need to give a shout out to Jackie Hale. She helped do the graphics in my book. Got to tell you, I love this one. I love movies. I grew up watching movies. Okay, I want you right now to list your 5 favorite movies. Now, I want you to notice, though, once you've listed them, are there any common themes? Are they romance? Are they thrillers, adventures? All right, I'm going to share with you. Number 1, one of my all-time favorite movies, Year of Living Dangerously. Sigourney Weaver, Mel Gibson. What's the theme that I like? It was about daring to risk. The music is sexy, it's romantic. I just love that movie. Not only does it make me smile, but it makes me remember to live my dream. Watch what Linda Hunt stands for in that movie. Oh, every time I watch it, I get a renewed sense of follow your dream, follow your passion. Number 2, Rocky. Have you think about it. Against all odds. Now, not only Rocky the character, but how about Sly Stallone the actor? I don't know if you know this story, but he was shopping this little script around. He wrote the script to Rocky. Nobody wanted, they didn't want him. They were willing to do the movie, but they wanted some big-name movie star. And he stood there and said, no, you make the movie with me. He was a complete unknown. And they did. And look what happened. Rocky's actually a real story. And then you take Rocky, because I'm not a boxer, and you take it to Norma Rae. And there you've got a woman who's standing up against all odds, who's willing to change the system. I love that movie. I love Sally Field in the movie. I love what it stands for. And as a woman who sometimes feels like she's got to fight for things, she's one of my all-time heroes. But then you get the other side of Forbes Riley, and you have Roman Holiday, Gregory Peck, and Audrey Hepburn. She is a princess who wanted a day off, and she gets to run around. Well, funny, very personal story about that movie. I was auditioning for a big Broadway play with Christopher Reeve, and I have a tendency to talk too much, in case you hadn't noticed. But in those days, I would talk myself out of auditions and jobs, and I would get nervous, and I would babble. And I didn't want to be me for this audition. And I pretended for the whole day that I was Audrey Hepburn. I stood a little taller, and I kept saying to myself, I'm a princess and nobody knows it. I'm a princess and nobody knows it. I walked into the audition, and I know there was an elegance, and I was so nervous that I kept thinking, what would Audrey do? What would she do? Want to hear a great part of the story? I got my first Broadway show with Christopher Reeve. Well, maybe me and Audrey Hepburn. It worked. And finally, in honor of a wonderful man who left the planet way too soon, one of my all-time favorite movies is Mrs. Doubtfire. Robin Williams, who makes me laugh in so many different ways and touched my heart so many different ways. But Mrs. Doubtfire is about a dad who is willing to do anything to stay with his kids, to keep the love of his family alive. That movie struck a huge chord in me. And to Robin, thank you for making me laugh for all these years. For you, figure out what your 5 favorite movies are. Let them inspire you, motivate you. And then finally, I'd like you to describe yourself as a character in one of your favorite films. Here's what I wanted to be when I was little. I wanted to be James Bond. Now, I didn't want to be the Bond girl with the bathing suit. I would have loved that, but growing up, I couldn't have never even dreamed of that. I wanted to live the action life. I wanted to ski and scuba dive and drive cool cars and jump out of planes, and guess what? I've done all of those things. 007, it's kind of cool, huh? So here's my challenge to you. Live a life that is Oscar worthy. Go for it.